Good evening. Thanks for joining us today to learn more about the social marketing plan for Solidarity, our new community solar power program here in Los Angeles launching next year. When most people think of solar energy, they think of solar panels on people's roofs. But these solar panels are rather expensive, even with tax rebates offered to homeowners. Let's hear what homeowners have to say about solar.
My daughter, who is a heating air conditioning engineer, shamed us into it because she said if people who can afford to have solar panels do not get them on their houses, that the prices for solar panels will never come down in price to be affordable for the majority of people.
Any opportunity as a culture that we can take to save energy is a benefit to both us and our future. So that was a great opportunity there, but to be able to also do it in a way that saves us money was an additional benefit. I saw it also as an insurance policy, knowing that energy costs are likely to rise. We now have a fixed payment monthly for a specific amount of energy that isn't going to change for the next 20 years.
But what about renters and low-income households? The answer is community solar power. The LA Department of Water and Power is launching a program to put solar panels on the roofs of city-owned buildings in low-income areas to create jobs and then to sell the power in the same neighborhood to help people get utility bill cost stability for 20 years, just like Brian. The target audience is 300,000 LADWP low-income discount and lifeline rate customers. The people on these programs tend to be relatively low energy consumers with average utility bills at $60 a month before subsidies. In a state where market utility rates are expected to rise by 47% in the next 15 years, helping these customers lock in a fixed rate for half their usage will help their families for years to come. The city can work with unions to train solar installers to get the workforce necessary to support the CSP program and the city's renewable energy goals. But the first thing to do is to use the city's pre-existing home energy improvement program to help our target audience fix their house for free, because it just doesn't make sense to pay for wasted energy, whether it comes from solar or not. When we look at recent studies of who lives in the concentrated poverty neighborhoods, we see that 75% of the population is Latino and 15% is African American. So let's find out what people in these demographic groups might think about solar power. Studies show that almost half of both Hispanic and Black voters would be willing to pay up to $5 more per month to have clean energy. Both populations believe that solar energy would help create jobs. In particular, 91% of African American respondents supported utilities expanding their energy efficiency program. So it seems like the beliefs about the benefits of solar energy might already exist in our target audience. We want to build on that and help them buy into our belief, knowledge, and behavioral objectives as noted up on the screen. Our aggressive goal is to get the program launched with 12,000 households participating in the first year, leading to 10 megawatts of solar power installed. So if people believe that solar power is good for the community, what has traditionally been the reason that people say no? Studies show that resistance comes from concerns surrounding cost, reliability, complexity, and inertia. The solar leasing model has tried to address the cost and complexity issues by the solar leasing company fronting the cost of the panels and taking care of all of the paperwork with the city. The LADWP Community Solar Program is positioned to beat them at their own game by making the Community Solar Program a low-cost, no-hassle proposition done through city employees. Our positioning statement for the social marketing strategy is as noted on the screen. The emphasis is on linking the purchasing of solar power to stabilizing future energy costs. Marketing strategy itself consists of the 4 Ps. The core product is getting low-cost, stable energy bills. The actual product is the free home energy audit and home improvement construction. The augmented product is the pride people get from knowing they're contributing to the community. The price is set at $5 a month for a 20-year fixed rate on 50% of the starting electrical bill. Customers will see a statement of their personal savings each time they get a bill, showing how much they save by participating in the Solidarity program. The place where it all happens is in the home of the consumer. The eligible customers are already known to LADWP because they're on special assistance programs. energy auditors and contractors will come to the house to do their work. As much as possible, except for the disruption of the construction, this is a no-hassle sign-up and participation program where all of the paperwork and oversight is done by city employees for free. The last P is promotion. First, we'll let them know through LADWP flyers in their bills. Then we'll start to identify key community events in the target neighborhoods to attend. Then we'll get people signed up and have them advertise to their neighbors through lawn signs. An advisor will come to an energy audit. The customer will let people know via lawn sign that construction is coming. When the construction is done, the customer will flip the sign over to let their neighbors know that they are part of the program. This will help with social norming. On the next bill, they will have a special section noting who else is participating to ensure sustainability of commitment. They flip the bill over, hopefully they'll see that energy use has been reduced. And instead of having all those definitions in small print on the side, a new sidebar will celebrate their participation in the program and show them the equivalent carbon reductions and cost reductions associated with their decision to go solar. Our monitoring program is meant to give government officials information about the program's success. We start with input measures, which are the resources we have available. Then we move on to output and process measures, which track what the program staff is actually doing. Then there are the outcome measures, which are related to the actual things that happen because of the program. And then the impact measures, which are related to long-lasting effects for the customer and the city. Last, but perhaps most importantly, are the return on investment calculations. These essentially take the cost of the program minus the savings that come back to the city and divide it by the number of participants. This is why we have to look at the proposed budget for the solar panel program, which is shown on the screen, with expenditures at the top and anticipated 20-year revenues at the bottom. We expect solar panels to be the same price as building a new natural gas plant by 2017 and have assumed that a bond can fund the CSP program. On the revenue side of the equation, the first and most obvious revenue for the program comes from the pre-existing HEIP funding. The second source is the collected solar surcharge paid by the customers across the 20-year life of the program. And the third source is actually unactualized costs to the city that comes from the city no longer having to pay such high electricity subsidies to its customers. As their bills come down, so does the bill to the city to cover subsidies. Therefore, this is a cost-neutral program for the city. This is the Solidarity cost stabilization model that projects monthly costs for the customer under the market rate, the CSP alone, and the CSP plus home improvement choice. As you can see, the application of both the city-funded HEIP coupled with the CSP results in a cost to the customer in 2035 that is less than what they are paying now, even with a $5 solar surcharge. So how are we going to do this? Start by meeting with all of the private solar contractors and training facilities to present a program that shows that there will be a preference for feed-in tariff permits given to all those contractors who agree to install CSP panels on public buildings at cost using locally trained workers to do it. Simultaneously, the program staff would meet with community leaders to request their endorsement among people they influence, and to understand what festivals or gatherings occur during the year so that CSP staff can arrange to attend if possible. The CSP and LADWP staff will develop all the promotional materials and online interface screens so that they are ready before the launch of the program via the utility flyer in the normal billing. CSP staff will attend community events to take signups. The HEIP staff will conduct energy audits. The HEIP contractors will do the home improvements, and the CSP solar installers will build the 10 megawatt of solar generation. We have an unprecedented opportunity to do a remarkable thing, to give low-income customers a cost-neutral way to participate in a community solar energy program, and to do it in a way that is effectively cost-neutral to the city across the 20-year life of the program. City leaders have the chance to deploy the money they would have spent anyways in a way that achieves the city's economic development goals at the same time as it moves us closer to the city's renewable energy goals. This is a win-win situation. Solidarity. clean power for all.